I think just by us playing defense, finally playing defense at the end, really triggered us to start playing even harder. So I think if we just play hard the whole game, then we could have did that the whole game. But I think at the end we really picked up our defensive intensity, so it really helped us to get out on them and jump ahead.
Do you attribute to the slow start in the first half? Too much turkey at Thanksgiving, or?
No, I don't think that was it. We just trying to learn we got to come out and have better starts, and that's kind of been.
Isn't that what you guys have talked quite a bit about?
Yeah. I think we just trying to work through that and just trying to get back on pace.
Either one of you, can you point a finger on what that is, why the start of, say, the first half can be so sluggish, and then you kind of get yelled at a little bit in the second half, or some things are pointed out, and then boom, you guys just play the way.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know exactly what it is, because it's been a problem for us for a while now, and I guess it's just we're not bringing enough energy in the first half to start off the game.
Sitting at 8-1, I mean, did you really see yourselves 8-1 before the season started?
I take it. I mean, I think I speak for most of us. Is we take it game by game. So I never personally look at the schedule and calculate out what I think will be. But it's definitely something that we're happy with. And I mean, the way we look at it is we should be 9-1. I mean 9-0. We shouldn't have lost to Seton Hall. So.
Callan, you got to start the second half. I'm not sure what was up with Chris, but talk about getting that opportunity, kind of leading the charge in the second half.
Well, I knew we had to build off. It was probably like the last 2 or 3 minutes of the first half, so I knew that was going to be a big point coming out in the second half, just so we could blow the lead open. So I knew I had to come out and bring energy for us, and I knew that I had to get guys involved, and I knew once we picked up our defense, then we'll be fine.
You mentioned getting guys involved. I think you had 1 assist the first half, and you had like 3 in the first few minutes of the second half. That was kind of as a point guard, point of emphasis for you.
Yeah, it was.
Feel good then to get everybody involved, kind of get things rolling.
Yeah, I think we play better as a team when we do stuff like that, when we look for other people and share the ball.
Mark, what did you do free throw shooting wise in the offseason to improve something?
Just practice, repetition. Coach had talked with me, and that was one of the things that he wanted me to work on more because he knew I'd be getting fouled more. So just repetition. Practice makes perfect.
Does it feel that much different this year when you walk up to the line?
I have a lot more confidence, yeah. And I think that's what, not only does practice help your shot, but, I mean, it's more mental. I think so. So I have more confidence at the line.
You guys have been really good protecting the ball, and I think everybody that played had a turnover today except for Kellen. Was that just coming back off the holidays or what?
I think it's just.
They got you with 19, 20 turnovers. You haven't been close to that this year.
I think it was just the type of way we were playing. I know they wanted to play fast and get up and down, but we had to do a better job of controlling the ball. And I think in the first half, that was one of our big problems. In the second half, I mean, we didn't do too much better. But once we started finding people and slowing down and making good plays for ourselves and teammates, then I feel like that's when we started to increase our lead.
Did you see yourself playing this much back in June? July?
Honestly, I was thinking about redshirting because I didn't know if I was going to be ready or not. And then I just kind of took it day by day in practice. And then I just started practicing, and I was just praying that I would be ready. And I still take it day by day.
Oh, I'm glad he didn't redshirt.
What was the knee injury again?
It was a mini microfracture surgery, and I had I'm not sure what it was actually called, but I chipped a bone on the inside of my knee.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably about last April.
You did it in April.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering why you would say, you weren't sure if you can come back, and that, is it because the whole idea of the whole microfracture process is still kind of up in the air in terms of, it seems like results do work, but that time frame in between is just really hard to tell how long it takes?
Yeah, they told me it'd probably be like 4 to 6 months, and that was like right when the season started. So I knew it was gonna be like rough getting back into it and conditioning and stuff. But like I said, I just took it day by day. Like sometimes it still bothers me, but I still get treatment, and like once I start playing and stuff, I'm fine.
So, I'm trying to remember back to one of the first couple games, was it, when was it when you figured you could probably at least be able to, spell Chris and be able to play, up to your potential?
Well, that was in practice. Like when I first started practicing, it felt really good, and then I went about maybe a week or two where it was really hurting me, and that's when I started to think, well, maybe I need a red shirt because I don't know if I can make it through the season. But Coach Cindy told me that he thinks that it was all just mental, and I really think it was too. Because, like I said, when I get out there, I feel fine.
When was it that you had that 2-week?
It was probably in September.
Was it?
Yeah.
I'm guessing that was just from being on it constantly.
Yeah.
Just kind of the process of going through it.
Yeah.
You're slow at first, you baby it a little bit at first, and then the more demanding you are on it, the more it just responds. But it
Yeah.
takes that. Is that your impression to get to?
Yeah.
Right, left?
It was my left knee.
Left.
Yeah, good second half by our guys, and happy with the way we came out after halftime. Defensively, in particular, I thought we did a great job in the second half. Overall, statistically, probably our best defensive game, probably our worst offensive game. But our emphasis was to defend for 40 minutes. I do think we did that. I thought in the first half we were really sluggish on offense, but after the break, I thought we played much better.
Blaming on your mother-in-law feeding them too much at Thanksgiving.
Oh, is that what they said? Yeah. No. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure why. I do know, Chris is a little sore. His legs feeling a little sore. So I think that has something to do with it. When he's not playing with the energy level that we need him to be, I think it sometimes affects the team a little bit. And that's where Kellen did a great job in the second half.
What is that? Is there an injury per se, or just a?
No, I just think he's stiff. I know he's had a couple knee surgeries, and right now he's just stiff. And me and him talked after the game, so I think he'll work on the things he needs to do, in the weight room and with the trainer to get himself feeling a little bit better. But we need him. He's an important part of our team.
Was there anything particular slowly coming out the second half?
Say that again. I'm
Was it
sorry.
still the knee?
Yeah, he didn't start the second half, and I was going to start him, but then he said to me that he was like, he needed to get warmer. So we started Kellen. You know what, I don't know. Maybe the weather. I have no idea. I really don't. So he just wasn't feeling it. And we're fortunate that we have 2.5 point guards. KK is really not a point guard, but he can play there as well. And he did at times today. We're fortunate that we have a couple guys that can help us there. I thought Kellen did a phenomenal job, as he's done all year. He's done a great job all year. Tonight he had 4 assists, no turnovers. On the season, what those numbers are now. It's something, I think it may be 20 and 3 or something like that on the year. He's just doing a great job leading the team and getting to the rim when he needs to. So he did a great job and sort of picked up the slack for Chris.
You talked a little bit about in September when he had those 2 weeks where he's coming back from the surgery and it really started to bother him and he was really worried about whether he should take a red shirt or not. And he said that you talked to him and kind of advised him to kind of go day to day. Can you talk a little bit about that? Do you remember?
Yeah, you know what? It's funny. It was after I didn't think he was playing really hard, and I thought he was sort of favoring himself and not playing the way he's supposed to. And then that next day, he said to me before practice, "Do you think I need to redshirt or maybe I should redshirt?" And that practice, he had his best practice of the year. He had 10 assists in that practice and 0 turnovers. And I said to him to quit thinking about his leg and play like that, and then you won't have me up your butt all the time about how you're playing. So, and I think for whatever reason, from that point on, he's just been great. And he's played really well. He's had a great start to his sophomore year. And when we brought Kellen here, I think he's also this year taken on much more leadership and has a much bigger voice in the huddles and with his teammates, and I think that helps your play, especially at that position. I think his first year, all I used to yell at him for was being quiet, and now he's very vocal, and I think he leads by example and he leads with his voice, and when you play the way he's playing, his voice carries a lot of weight.
It's one of those games, just looking at especially, everybody had a turnover but him.
Yeah, it was sloppy for us. I mean, I think going into the game, I think
12 was the most.
yeah, 12, but we were 7th in the country nationally in taking care of the basketball, which had been a big reason why we were scoring a lot of points and why we were shooting a good percentage. All of those things. We were doing a great job taking care of the basketball. And, you know, I generally give the other team credit when I think that they deserve it. And this is not to knock Kennesaw. It's not meant as that. But I thought some of the turnovers that we had, like Chris dribbled off his foot. Melvin tried to dribble like a between the leg thing. I don't know what he was doing. And I just felt like a lot of those turnovers were unforced. Dev traveled in transition, like just catching the ball. He didn't catch it 1-2. He traveled.
Sometimes you got defensive rebounds and then
Yeah,
right.
Khalik and Ortiz both outletted to their team. I mean, so, you know, maybe we were due for that. I don't know. But I sort of feel like our team needs to do a better job taking care of the basketball, clearly, to have 19 turnovers. The fact that we won by 17 points with 19 turnovers, you know, that's somewhat positive. But we have to limit those turnovers. That goes without saying.
Is it tough to point out something that you know that they need to work on when you guys just keep on winning despite not playing well in a half or what, you know, whatever? Is it getting tough? I mean, 8-1.
Yeah, I think there's part of them, you know, and sometimes at halftime, you know, I think there's part of, you know, and it's human nature, is that you just sort of think like you're good, and, you know, oh, we're good, we're 7-1, but you forget why you got to that point. And I felt like the first half we played like we were in slow motion, and just, okay, Kennesaw's record isn't great, our record's good, we're just gonna win because our jersey says Kansas State. It just doesn't work that way. That's why you see all over the country there's upsets all the time, because there's not a big separation, and if you don't play hard and you don't play well, everybody can beat everybody. That's just the way it works. So, you know, I thought at halftime in the second half we came out with a much more aggressive. We had 9 offensive rebounds in the second half. Just the total way that we played was how we need to play all the time, because our margin of error is as small as it's ever been, I think, because there's just not a big difference between us being good, which we are right now, and us losing games consistently. So we have to play with an edge for us to be any good.
One guy that did play well in the first half with energy was Derek.
Yeah, you know what, and he's been, his more defensively than anything. And he had 14 points, and you know, we didn't have a lot of guys. Nobody took more than 6 shots. I was surprised to see that, but he was incredibly efficient offensively. But to me, when he's playing well is when he's guarding, and I thought he did a great job on, you know, the kid Delbert Love, who had 16 points but shot 6 for 21. And I don't, you know, I'll have to watch the tape, but I sort of felt like it seemed like whenever somebody else was guarding him was when he scored, and when Derek was guarding him, he did a great job. And that's how Derek plays. When he's defending and really into it defensively, he's a very, very good player. And I thought he did a really good job in the first half, you know, sort of keeping us in the game. And then the second half, I thought everybody played well.
Khalid,
13 rebounds, unbelievable, right? Great job for him. Really happy with him in 18 minutes. You know, 3 blocks. You know, I think there was some shots that I, you know, he normally, I think, would finish on top of the rim. But, you know, I thought he did a tremendous job on the glass. Tremendous job. That's our high rebound for the year. It's certainly his career high. And he's getting better. I mean, he played 18 minutes tonight. I played him some. You know, Darren, I didn't play a lot today. I wasn't really happy with Darren. And I need Darren to play well for us to be any good. But I didn't really think that he was into it today. And Khalik did a good job stepping up in his absence.
Are you surprised at what, maybe not at what he's giving you, but how consistently Eddie is giving you pretty good production?
Yeah, he's unbelievable, right? I mean, yeah, he just had 16 and 6 tonight. He's you know, confidence goes a long way. Confidence, being a senior, here for 4 years. You know, I think when you go around the league and you look at different teams, You know, I follow everybody's teams, so you see guys that are 4-year guys, you know, in that 4th year or 5th year guys or whatever, maybe maybe it clicks a little bit, or they know, hey, it's my senior year, and he's just going out playing, and you know, he's not allowing if I yell at him to affect him, and his confidence level is high.
How much does it help how well he's doing free throw?
Yeah, obviously, yeah. Don't jinx him. Keep that going. Yeah, keep that going. We don't. It's like when you have a no hitter, you just don't talk about that. But he's doing well. He's doing well in every aspect. Offensive rebounding, he's been great. He's our best defender. You know, front court defender. He's our best front court defender. And he's just continuing to get better. So.
This is a tough question to ask now, given that it's the holiday and that the kids probably are just getting back tonight, but at what point do you start to get a little frustrated with the lack of support you're getting from the fans in that you're 8-1, and I mean, at some point.
Yeah, it's disappointing. I'm not going to sit here and lie and pretend it's not. It's disappointing, but that's not something I can control. You know, to be honest with you, I know I'm going to get the question because you got to ask me, but it's really not even a question for me. I don't think. You know, it's really a question for somebody else. All we can control is how we play and how hard we play. I think our guys are playing hard. I think we're a fun team to watch. I think we are. And even if we weren't a fun team to watch, we're 8-1. I got great kids. The things I can control is how hard we play. I got to make sure I control that. Playing the right way. And the kids that I bring in, I control that because I recruit them. And I think I have great kids. They've represented the school the right way, on and off the court. We've got the highest APR, multi-year APR in school history. So there's a lot of things I'm proud of, and really that's all I can control. And, you know, if people come, that's great. I'd like to see more people, obviously. That goes without saying. You know what? I don't talk about it with them. I really don't. I don't know. And you know what? I wonder if more people show up, if it'll affect, if they'll play differently. Like right now, we're playing well, and that's all I care about.
They feed off it.
Yeah, listen. There's no question. You know, you feed off the crowd. There's no question about that. There's no question about that. You do. You feed off the crowd without question.
What's the big switch? I mean, last year this time you were barely 500 at home. If 500.
Yeah. You know what? It's a
maybe
different
500.
team. You know what? It's a different team, and I don't know if this team's better or worse. I think time will tell if it's better or worse. But right now, in the early going, we're playing really well together, playing unselfishly, and again, I think today was a different way. We're finding different ways to win. Some days we scored 100 points one time and couldn't guard anybody. Today, we turned it over like crazy, but we did such a good job defensively that we were still able to win, sort of going away in the second half. So, you know, I don't know that I can pinpoint that, except that these guys who are just playing really hard right now, you know.
That's gotta feel good. Hopefully that'll continue when we get into January.
That's what we need,
Really
yeah,
big match.
no question. And that's, you know, that's going to be the next challenge. We have this game Wednesday against a great team and a great program, who our worst loss of the season was against them last year. They beat us by 18 at their place. And then we have 17 days off, finals week, you know, and then we go on the road against College of Charleston, come back after Christmas, play Cleveland State, go to Princeton, which all of those games are hard, every game, and then we come into league play in January. So, you know, there's still a lot of time between now and then. We have to get better, and we'll continue to work on getting better. But right now, you know, if you were to ask me, are you happy with being 8-1 with a 2-point loss? And the answer, yeah, I'm happy with it. But we still have a long way to go, like you made note of. I mean, we have a long way to go.
And it's like that also, but I remember the game last year when you, as you say, Bucknell, that's a crazy atmosphere at Striker Pavilion. It's nice to have them in our place this time.
It is. They. You know what? It was my first time there last year, and Dave Paulson's a phenomenal coach, probably one of the best coaches that people don't know about. He's a phenomenal coach. But they also have a great atmosphere there. It's one of those towns where they really, really like basketball there. So, you know, it's a Patriot League school, but that program's like that. That's a really, really good program. I mean, they had a guy who was drafted last year, and they'll be in the, if they don't win the league, they'll be 1, 2, or 3 year after year after year since he's gotten there. They just have they have a great system, and he's a great coach, and they have a great program.
How do they do it? Like, what's their amount?
You know what, they'll change around, just similar to us in that each season's a little different. Their best player is a kid named Cameron Ayers, who's Randy Ayers' son. And they have a number of other guys that are very good, but he's their leading scorer. And similar to the way we'll try to play, they'll change their system a little bit each year based upon their personnel. So last year they had the big kid Muscala, who they could throw it to, consistently, and he was phenomenal. This year they run some Princeton stuff offensively, and they still do a lot of things with ball screens. So we'll have to do a great job defensively. They try to control tempo a little bit. So we're going to have to play well. We're going to have to play better to beat them than we did tonight. And that's, again, not to say anything. Kennesaw State, I thought, played really, really hard. But from my perspective, we have to play a little bit better if we want to get to 9-1.
This will seem like I'm picking on a guy, and I don't mean to be, but I guess the beauty of it, you have back-to-back games, I think, out of Darren where he struggled a little bit.
Yeah.
But the beauty of it is that with such a deep bench, it's just easy to gloss over that. It's easier to say, oh, he's had a rough stretch, as opposed to if he had to be a focal point.
Yeah.
You didn't have the bench that you had, we
I-
would be talking about it.
I agree with that, and at the same time, I'm not naive enough to think that we can win consistently without him playing better. He's got to play him and Chris Brewer are 2 of our best players, if not our 2 best players. They're 2 of our best players. And for us to win in January and February, I need those guys to play better. And it is great that, he didn't have it in my eyes tonight, that then I guess those are the only eyes that matter. And I was able to have other guys step in and really help. Ortiz, Kalik played a lot more minutes. I thought Melvin played well in his minutes. So I was able to do that. But at the end of the day, Darren's got to play a little bit better for us to win. No, I think he just presses sometimes. And you know what? I gotta relax a little bit on him too, because I see every fault that he makes and I yell at him, and sometimes it doesn't help. So I need him to pick up his defensive energy, and then I'll ignore a lot of things when I see that. But it was good to see him make 2 out of 3 threes, though. That was good, because he's a really good shooter who hadn't been shooting really well. And in the last game, he made a lot of his free throws, which again is good, because he needs to do those things.
He's struggling, but he's not shutting down.
Yeah. Nope. Yep. Exactly.